Hello everyone, my name is Dharmesh. I am from ThinkWise Education, and in today's video I'm going to cover option on doing PhD abroad. So in last 20 years I have sent a lot of students for PhD, and I generally get a lot of students asking how do I apply for PhD, do I get funding for PhD. So in this video I will try to give some information to students as in what should be your steps to apply for PhD. So I guide my students that PhD is always a two-step process and not a one-step process. Most of the students make mistake of sending their official application during the application period without doing step one. So what is step one? Step one is basically free of cost process. You make your research proposal of couple of page, highlight your bachelor, master's subjects of interest, what all subjects you covered, which particular subject you have got more interest into, what paper publication, research paper you have done in that particular subject, and it should also focus on particular professor to whom you are writing in terms of what particular specific research which they are doing right now interests you the most, and also making a request, will you become my supervisor to if I would like to do PhD at your university. So this is research proposal. You have to make your research proposal, identify 30, 40, 50 odd universities. Every university have several faculty for a particular subject, so you identify faculties and the department and start corresponding for each of them. Now if you select 2 faculty per university per department, and if there are 30, 40 universities, you may need to correspond with 60, 70 faculty for all those universities. Now remember, this particular process does not involve any cost. You are not making a formal application, you are making your research proposal and you are sending it to the faculty to find out if they have a space available and if they like your profile. In response to this particular communication, you will find most probably 50 to 70% university giving a negative response, stating that we do not have a funding, or we do not have any new project coming in, or we are not recruiting new students. Good for you. You would like to find out institute which has funding, and it helps you in eliminating those university which directly give you a response that we do not have funding. So when you go to step 2 in terms of shortlisting university and making proper official application by paying application fee, you do not make mistake of applying to those university which do not have a funding. So you have identified those university well in advance. Out of the remaining university which you are corresponding and going to give a response, there would be few odd institutes stating that we do not give a decision directly by email. You need to make a formal application during the application period. Generally the application period is October to December of particular year which you are looking for, so you need to apply a year before. So October to December of previous year is the application period. So before that application period of October to December, I recommend my students that if you take 3-4 months earlier to that particular time, so somewhere April to September, if you correspond with the faculties, you are approaching them at right time, because that's the time when they plan for their funding and they plan for students working under them. So the correspondence part, step 1 part, really helps you in finding out faculties or a department which have funding. After the communication, you have found out that some universities do not have a funding or not recruiting new students. Some universities stating that you need to make an application to decide to get an outcome whether we have a PhD admission for you or no. Some odd choices, not more than I think 2, 3, 4, will give you a direct positive response that, dear student, we really liked your profile. You have got a good research and a academic profile, and we do have a funding at the department, and we are looking for students under us for pursuing PhD. Once you get this response, 90-95% of your PhD work is done. You have identified those faculty who has the funding available and who are looking for students like you. Then you go to next step 2, and there definitely you are going to apply to those 2-3 odd institutes which has a funding available, plus those universities which has not given proper yes but not told no, which means they do have a PhD, but you need to follow the admission process. You may shortlist some institute from those lists also. So where you have got a positive response, there plus some additional choices where you have liked the research, you will make an actual application in October to December. So this communication process is really helpful, and it helps in identifying faculty, and it also helps in eliminating those universities which do not have a funding. So I thought this information was very vital in terms of finding out the funding availability at the university before making a formal application and before wasting money. If you get through PhD, you get a full scholarship for the entire program, so you do not pay any fees for the PhD. Generally, PhD is 4-5 year program. John Hopkins, which is one of the prestigious university of US, right, that we offer one of the shortest PhD degree, which is 7 years. So for them, 7 years is the shortest degree. So you can imagine that if you need to pay money for 5-7 years, how big will be the cost. So if you are going to apply for PhD, there could be two response. One, they are selecting you, and if they are selecting you, it has to be with full funding, or they are rejecting you. It's never going to be that you need to pay for the education. So always be mentally prepared that if I'm applying for PhD, I'm looking for full financial support from the university. So support is in two forms. One is scholarship, so your entire education cost becomes zero, and the second is financial aid, where they assign you some research assistantship, you work under them, and you are being highly paid. The amount is very, very substantial. So generally, most of the students get $40,000 to $50,000 to start with per annum to help them in the research. And after every semester, it keeps increasing based on your performance. So it's fully funded program. It's basically like a job. If you are getting through, you are being paid for your PhD process, but it's a lengthy process. So only if you are focused, if you are having a lot of interest in particular subject and you would like to take it to next level to research, then this is the right program for you. PhD dependents, PhD kids also get a lot of support from the university. So it's the right program. So I think, yeah, that's it. So today's session, I would like to give information on what should be the two-step process. If you think that you've got any more question, please type in your comments in below, and please like the video, please share the video. Any more query, please write to us. Thank you and have a nice day.